I guess we can
True,
start
yeah.
off with the first topic. Uh, so for the two of you, what's your thoughts on the Amino app? I mean, for me to start off, I haven't really exposed myself as much. So, I've only browsed here and there communities, but it seems like a little too much for me to like go and make something out there. So it's like for me, I think the Amino app is okay just to like browse and see what other people are doing and all that. I mean, what do you think, Arza?
So it's a new concept. It's interesting. Well, because the actual thing that I wanted to talk about was how the creators of Narvi said back in 2012, when they created Amino, they wanted it to be the kind of community where everybody could make their own apps. And this is basically that, it's their dream, the thing that they set out to do when they initially made the Amino apps, and now they've done it. Now, the thing with this is, like I told you before we started the podcast, like this could be used in adverse ways, like when people made the lewd Amino for all their pornographic interests. And so that could be one of the factors that could play into how successful this community is, seeing in which direction it will go. But at the same time, I see here, by the way, this is the first time I've downloaded it. I see communities for guitar, I see communities for mathematics, I see communities for cooking. And so basically, people are going all out with their interests, which is great because if you want to find out the problem to a math issue that you have, you could go to the math community, plug in that problem, and blah 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 blah, and on and on. You can find whatever interests you have. But I do agree with you as well, Manishi, that it could be too much. Because, like I said, I just downloaded it and I'm going down, and there's so many communities. I could just find myself being lost in here for days at end. If
Yeah, people have
and yeah.
mentioned that the app is overwhelming with the amount of communities. So, I mean, that's your take on it. That's my take on it. I mean, what do you think, Sebastian, or you, whatever username you want to be called?
I usually go by Snice, and I think that the new Amino app is really pretty smart move by Narvi because they want to gather more users, and by making an entirely new app where they take all the aminos together as one, they'll obviously appeal to way more users because by download, like Arsa said, if you download every single app, it will first of all take up space, and it will actually make you lose track of what you're doing since if you hop between apps back and forth, it will be quite distracting. So by collecting all in one place, I think will make it so more users will come to the Amino apps in general. So I think it's a
I
smart
feel,
move,
yeah.
but I don't know if I like it, since this means that people will find new interests. And from my point of view, as an anime Amino user, that's something that's negative.
Hmm.
I totally fucked up on my my take on this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say Sebastian's view is the right view. I agree with Sebastian.
Damn.
Yeah, I couldn't hear much of that, so the internet stuttering. I mean, so much about it. I've heard bands and drama and all that, but a little overwhelming. But as if I mean, if they can put the rest of the aminos in there, that's perfectly fine. As an AA user myself, I don't see any negatives in this because AA has always been the strongest app. And the reason why this doesn't budge me in any sense is because you don't find a community like AA anywhere else. It's really the only of its kind, so it's still going pretty strong. I mean, the other rest of the communities, they have their own interests, but anime and manga, the AA in general, is a pretty broad community with a lot of things to cover where the Amino app really splits it down, so it's more overwhelming than what you can expect.
Well, that's true, but I think in a sense, if you take all these separate interests, so for example, somebody has an interest in ASMR, like they created that community a few weeks ago, and everybody gave it shit. But with this application, you can put your interest to use, create a community around it, and then all those people that have an interest in that can join the Amino app, and then just go to that ASMR community inside the Amino app. But then what happens is all those people come to this app, then people with separating interests come to this app for other communities, and then over time that's going to build up so that all these people with a wide variety of interests are going to be in one place, and then they're going to explore all these other communities as well. So it's a good way to bring people with varying interests together, but it can be overwhelming, like you said. And I don't think we need anime amino inside this new amino app, because the anime amino app that we have already is works fine. I would not join the new one for anything.
That's a pretty good sense. Well, I mean, they did mention there was going to be a community maker coming in with the next few weeks. I'm not sure if you guys are thinking of making any communities, because I'm pretty much the only thing that comes to mind is for me to make like a Twitch Amino, but I don't exactly want to moderate anything or be a mod because, I mean, there's PC gaming, which is almost the exact same, so I won't be making anything. What about used to?
Uh, I mean, to create your own app has always been something appealing to me. It makes you feel like you've accomplished something of worth with your life, and the only thing you're really doing is
I
exploring your
created an
passion.
app. My life
Yeah,
is
you
complete.
created an app. So basically, by creating an app, you create a home for people with interests that they might not get to express in real life, because most people today are shunned because of some of the interests they have. Uh, as an avid anime watcher, I myself have experienced many people clanking down on me just for liking anime, meaning that I have to bottle it up.
That's
But
true.
Anime Amino has become a place for me to express how I feel about anime, and by letting someone else uh, also get that opportunity by creating your own app is something that I think is really great.
That's a pretty good
So
take
would
on
you
it.
create a? I think you would create a. What's it called? Because his job is to motivate people, so he would create a motivation amino, wouldn't you, Sebastian?
I might have, if it's not already existing, I would create an anime for training exercise, or maybe
Oh
a
yeah,
certain exercise. Like, I don't know, gym amino might be a thing, because many people don't know. They watch all these online videos and they don't really know how to exercise or how important food and nutrition actually is for them. So that might be an anime that I would create. Sorry, amino.
well, if for me, I would create well, because like you said, if you're gonna go ahead and create an amino app or any kind of app, you should do something that you're passionate about, right? For example, you're passionate about food and nutrition and gym, and then because Minishi is passionate about Twitch and doing podcasts and creating these things with other people inside a community. I think for me, the thing that I'm most passionate about is my musical skills, which involve my guitar. But there's already an amino app for that, so I couldn't create a community for that. So I thought if I had to create an amino app, I would make one about cricket, because cricket is a sport that I've played since I was 10 years old, and it's my life. It's the air that I breathe. It's the dreams that I have when I wake up, when I go to sleep. Even during this holy month of Ramadan, which is a month that us Muslims spend fasting, everybody in my country spends the night time playing cricket. We play cricket under street lights. Anywhere you can imagine, we're going to play cricket. So I know for a fact that there's a solid fan base for people who want to discuss cricket and everything that's related to it. But unfortunately, there's a surprising lack of apps that are related to cricket, both in the App Store and in the Play Store. And I think I could fill that void by creating a Amino app for cricket, and hopefully, it could garner a lot of audience interest.
Sounds like a very admirable thought you have there, and we shall sure hope you will become successful in creating a
We'll
cricket amino.
we'll see, we'll see.
Pursuing your
So,
interest and expanding it out there.
Yeah.
so really to conclude, uh, the new amino app is a place for people to expand and also discover new interests, which they
And at the same
maybe
yeah, and
didn't
at the
even
same
know
time, it can be a
they
little bit
even had.
overwhelming. Yeah.
but at the same time, it could be overwhelming, and it could potentially steal a lot of users from other popular aminos, such as anime
True.
amino, which is an issue that I
No,
think
I
some
don't think
people are
people.
very worried about.
I might
And
disagree with
also
you
the
here
new app.
because I don't think people would leave Anime Amino. Like I said, I'm an Anime Amino user. I wouldn't leave it for the new Amino app because Anime Amino is arguably the parent app that spawned all of these new apps. Because when I downloaded Anime Amino almost 2 years ago, I think Manishi downloaded it 1 year before I did because he's been on here for 3 years.
4.
Manishi Four, even longer. I think in the beginning there was only an anime amino app and a TV and movies app. I think that was it, right?
Several few. It's before, I think, like wrestling amino, and then that's where it started going a little out of control with the amino apps.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're on the right track.
So this is basically one of the very few original ones, and I don't think the people who are on this app would leave it for a new, even though this new community, like you said, shows a lot of promise. But as an Anime Amino user, I would not, leave Anime Amino for this app.
But then again, what you say is true. But Norvi, they have said that they will transfer Anime Amino over to the new app in the future. And what I think will happen then is that the new app becomes a state of chaos, where people don't really know what they want to do, because they just simply have too many options.
They did mention, I
True.
think, by someone saying that the amino apps, the ones that are already released, can still be used and download. They'll just implement AA into the amino app if people want to like explore more communities. But if you want to be on just AA, they'll still have the original app, as far as I've heard. I mean, it could be damaging in a bit of a sense, but I've also have like a game. What is it? Gaming amino and cartoon amino. I mean, it's all a matter of someone's interest and if they want to stick around AA. I mean, because I mainly stick around. I make few blogs here and there, but for me, primarily, why I stick on AA still is because of the people I've talked to, the friends that I've made, and all that.